Your 2-minute drill begins now. Welcome again, sports fans. I'm low talking right now to test our audio-visual equipment. They tell me that it can be heard over the good crowd that we have here on hand today. The crowd heard none of that, but that's okay. We are continuing with our summer-long tournament. It wraps up in September. The overall winner could take home nearly $250,000. We are giving away less than $1 billion throughout this contest. And today, in this show, $5,000 to the winner, a possibility of $10,000 if the question of great significance can be answered correctly. Right now, I want to introduce our panel from the good show, Son of the Beach. We have Jamie Bergman with us. Please welcome her. The legendary Willie McCovey, Hall of Famers with us. Bobby Hurley, basketball player and horse race man, and gold medalist Bonnie Blair is with us. Jamie, I think interesting note on you, you spell your name with an I in the middle of it, right?
Yes, I do. I was named after the Bionic Woman.
Truly?
Yes.
You're in acting now with this Son of the Beach show?
Yes.
You happy with it? Is it a long
Very
day?
happy. It's about time someone came out with a show like Son of the Beach.
Hot on the beach, though, isn't it? I mean, you wear those footy things, or do you just scald your feet all day long?
I do have the Ugg boots, and it's actually freezing on the beach. So.
Truly?
Truly.
Because you shoot off season.
Yes. We shoot in December.
Oh, why do you do
So
that?
It's cold.
Save
It's
money?
just the way. Maybe. I don't know.
And
Probably.
And you're in some movies as well, but not the kind that you rent that don't show up on your bill in the hotel room. You're in legitimate other movies, and you got some coming up, right? You're reading for something.
Exactly.
You're turning down scripts. I have one other question that I really need to know this, because you've worked for Playboy, too. Why does Hugh Hefner always dress in pajamas? Does he not have any other clothes?
Hugh Hefner can do whatever he wants. That's why he wears them.
He's the boss. He looks
He
smart
is.
in them. He's like one of those guys you see in Vegas playing craps and with the big, gold chains in his pajamas.
And a cigar.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing your questions. All the rest of you, we'll talk to you real soon. Right now, we want to go over the rules, and they're quite complex. You get a point when you get one right. During the first round, the contestants will be asked 4 questions from the panelists. If you sweep a category, run the table, you get a bonus point. That's 5. 5 times 4 is 20. That's the total value in the first round. The winner in this match, $5,000. A chance to turn that into $10,000 at the end of the show by answering the question of great significance correctly. Right now, let's get this game going. It's Roger Stumacher, age 25, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, medical student, and you look a little bit like Sting. That was in your biography.
Yeah, a girlfriend I had once told me that. I was stupid to break up with her.
What happened?
Well, nothing, but you got to stay with somebody who thinks you look like Sting, you know?
Sting's a good guy.
Sting is a good guy. I'm not like him, and
Can you sing?
I can, no.
You can't.
And that tantric thing,
Yeah, we
I
don't
can't
want you
do
to
that either.
sing on here. There's a bunch of ASCAP fees and things like that. Now, you were born same year, almost the same date as Tiger Woods. What happened? He went that way, and then you're in medical school.
actually separated at birth.
You look a lot like him.
Thank you very
But
much.
Could you have been a big-time player? Had you just hit another bucket of balls?
If I were better at golf, I could be a big-time player.
So Sting and Tiger together. Your specialty, Tiger Woods. If you get that far in this game, of course, we'll ask you a very difficult question about Tiger. All right, you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
Let's go over the categories. Jamie has They Might Be New York Giants, playoff on the band and the football team. Willie has 60s Swingers. Bobby has Dishing It Out. Did you like giving out assists or shooting better?
Couldn't shoot that good, so I had to pass.
You're that kind of guy. Bonnie has Gold in the Cold. We are talking about Winter Olympics. No interrupting. Listen to the whole question. You ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Willie McCovey.
Which rocket-armed Pirates outfielder won 4 National League batting crowns in the 1960s?
Roberto Clemente.
Correct.
Willie McCovey.
Which Braves slugging outfielder scored 100 or more runs in 9 seasons in the 1960s?
Henry Aaron.
Correct.
Willie McCovey.
Which Cuban-born Oakland A's shortstop led the American League in hits in 1968 with only 177?
Pass.
Bert Campaneris, Willie.
Willie.
In 1961, which Tigers first baseman led the American League in batting average with a 361 mark?
Norm Cash.
That's correct. He's done.
Bobby Hurley.
In 1988, Magic Johnson's record of 24 assists in a playoff game was tied by which Utah Jazz guard?
John Stockton.
Correct.
After 2 seasons in the NBA, which Nigerian-born New Jersey Nets center finally got his first career assist in 1997?
Yinka Dare.
Correct.
Which second-year Cavaliers guard led the team in points and assists in the 2000-2001 season?
Brevin Knight.
Andre Miller.
Which NC State guard held the record for NCAA career assists that I broke in 1993?
Chris Corciani.
That's right, he's done.
Bonnie Blair.
Which speed skater has won more medals than any other American woman in Winter Olympic history?
Bonnie Blair.
Right.
Which flamboyant Italian skier is the only man to win gold in giant slalom more than once?
Alberto Tomba.
Correct.
In 1998, half-piper John Semen of Switzerland won gold in the Olympic debut in what sport?
Freestyle skiing.
Snowboarding.
Which Ukrainian took the gold medal in men's figure skating in 1992 Albertville Olympics?
I don't know.
Petrenko, she's done. Jamie.
Jamie Bergen.
In 1991, which New York Giants defender became the first player to appear in 10 straight Pro Bowls?
Lawrence Taylor.
Right.
Who became the Giants head coach in 1997?
Jim Fossil. Just couldn't get to that one at the end, but still a very good round. You got 9 points. Didn't sweep anything, so you stay there. Guys, swap places, come on up. Brian Davenport, he's age 33 from Alexandria, Virginia. And Brian actually almost tripped and fell coming up to the stage, but that's going to happen. Well, I did that in the championship game. Thank you for noticing that. That was intentional, kind of a Dick Van Dyke, Johnny Carson thing. You're raising your boys to be Jim Thorpe.
Well, that's what they tell me. But I guess I want to expose them to every sport possible: golf, baseball, you name it.
Jim Thorpe was a pretty good athlete.
He wasn't bad.
Your dream job is to be a capologist, and for an explanation for those who don't follow it, we're talking about the salary cap. I think Johnny Clayton is the only guy who can explain that thing. What would you do, and is it a good thing anyway to have it?
Yeah, it's a great thing. But the Redskins are in deep trouble, so I guess they'd have to build a time machine, go back, not sign Deion Sanders. But absent of that, I guess they'd have to restructure a lot of contracts for next year. Gonna have to push it way off. We're in trouble for a little while.
Maybe he'll give back the money just like Bobby likes to give out the assists. All right, you saw how the game is played. Right now you're down 9-0, but that's okay. How about we go over the categories and we can move along.
Okay.
Jamie has getting defensive. Willie has take a walk. Bobby going with ACC hoops. He knows about that. And Bonnie with great, big, strong people, humongous people. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Bobby Hurley.
In 1998, which Carolina Tar Heel won the John Wooden Award over teammate Vince Carter?
Antoine Jamison.
Right.
Which Duke forward won his 3rd straight National Defensive Player of the Year award in 2001?
Shane Battier.
True.
Before joining the Cleveland Cavaliers, which Georgia Tech sharpshooter set the school's single-season record for free throw percentage in 1982-83?
Mark Price.
Correct.
What men's basketball team won back-to-back ACC championships in 1995 and 96?
Duke.
Oh, Wake Forest, he's done.
Bonnie Blair.
What future heavyweight champ did not get a real deal when he was disqualified at the '84 Olympics for an illegal blow?
Evander Holyfield.
Right.
Before testing positive for steroids, American C.J. Hunter won the 1999 World Championships in what track and field event?
Shot put.
Correct.
In what Olympic sport did American Rulon Gardner upset the great Alexander Karelin in the 2000 games?
Wrestling.
What kind?
Freestyle wrestling.
No, Greco-Roman is wrong.
At the 2000 games, 17-year-old American Cheryl Hayworth won bronze in what Olympic debut of what sport?
Snowboarding.
Women's weightlifting, she's done.
Jamie Bergman.
Which not-so-friendly member of the Steel Curtain later became the defensive line coach for the Dolphins?
Mean Joe Green.
Right.
Longtime 49er Ronnie Lott played his final regular season NFL game with what AFC East team?
New York Jets.
Correct.
Hall of Famer Gino Marchetti anchored the defense of what 1958 NFL championship team?
Baltimore Colts.
Right.
Which former Iowa defensive tackle was suspended from the Lions for the 1963 season for betting on NFL games?
Alex Karras.
Correct. Bonus.
In 1923, which feared Yankee slugger received a major league record 170 walks?
Babe Ruth.
Correct.
In 1998, which power-hitting National League first baseman finished the season just 8 walks short of a major league record?
Mark McGuire.
Correct.
Which Giants Hall of Famer drew an absurd 45 intentional walks in 1969?
Willie McCovey.
True.
Which Washington Senator third
Can't
baseman?
get to that one because the question had
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
explained. That was Eddie Yost there at the end, but a great round for you. 12 points plus the bonus. You got all of Jamie's correct. So you go up to 13, and you're into the lead. Stay around. ESPN's 2-minute drill continues. We're going to find out who wins at least $5,000 right after this.
ESPN's 2-minute drill is brought to you by Time for the Saturn 2-minute drill trivia question.
back on ESPN's 2-Minute Drill, getting set for the second round of play. But as is customary, we want to talk to the rest of our panelists. So glad they could be here. And Willie McCovey, what an honor it is to have you involved. Let's hear it for Willie McCovey, the Hall of Famer's here. You know how many kids grew up playing wiffle ball, pretending they were you and Willie Mays and all the Giants?
Oh, I can imagine.
I mean, Jeff Whidden was always you, actually. I was the Reds, but I still loved you. And I got to see you play, I think it was in '79, back at Candlestick. You had 4 singles in the game. And the other one where you guys scored the 21 runs. You do all these games, like, stand out, you can say, oh, yeah, I remember that day, I remember that day.
Well, I remember it because you reminded me of it earlier.
Spires needed a triple for the cycle.
That's right.
What's your fondest memory as a player?
Well, probably my first day going 4 for 4 against Robin Roberts.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was all downhill from there.
Not exactly. It's great to have you on board. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Bobby Hurley's with us. Your basketball career got cut short for some reasons that, weren't your fault, the injuries and everything like that, but you jumped right into something else that's turned out to be quite lucrative. He bought a racehorse, what was it, $1 million? Song and a Prayer. Didn't do so well in the Kentucky Derby, got the lead and, ran a little too fast, but big things expected for that colt in the summer?
Yeah, he's already done some big things for us. He's won some big races already, so we're happy with what he's done already, but we think he's still got a big future ahead of him.
Now, your wife's initial reaction when you came back from the sale and said, I spent $1 million on a horse, what was her reaction?
Well, we had a cell phone conversation that didn't go pretty good for me. But I got things straightened out. I was in Florida. She was in New Jersey, so she couldn't get to me. But, time mends everything, and it worked out good.
And success mends it, too, because now the horse is worth so much more for stud fee. So congratulations on that animal, and thank you for being here. Bonnie Blair is back with us. You were here on the first edition of the 2-Minute Drill. You like some of the new changes? It's a little fancier, huh?
Yeah, it's not the stage moves and everything. Boy.
Well, you'll be moving later when we jettison you at the end for the question of great significance. But you're very important right now in round 2 because you're going to be asking these contestants questions, and let's get right to that. We got Roger in the chair. Under international rules, the player in second place starts the second round first. The only difference in the second round is these contestants will be getting questions from all over the place. They won't pick where the questions come from, but they will have something to do with sports. They're all with 1 point. Total value is 40 points in the game. That would be a world record. 20 was scored in one game so far this season in the first round. But that has nothing to do with you, Roger. You know that there's a difference between failing and failure. Right now, you're just behind. It doesn't mean the thing's over for you, right?
It's very nice of you to say, Kenny. Thank you.
You feel good?
Now that you've said that, I feel really good.
All right. Still no interrupting. Ready to play?
Mm-hmm.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
What NFL team is often referred to as the Monsters of the Midway?
Chicago Bears.
Right.
Which former boxing champ signed a $137.5 million contract for the right to use his name on grills and other kitchen appliances?
George Foreman.
True.
Which Dodger lefty won the 1981 National League Rookie of the Year award?
Fernando Valenzuela.
Right.
Which Houston Rockets big man posted a quadruple-double against the Bucks in 1990?
Akeem Olajuwon.
Of course.
In what winter Olympic sport do participants perform a triple Lutz and a flying camel spin?
Figure skating.
Right.
Which college football Hall of Fame coach earned his nickname when he wrestled a bear?
Paul Bryant.
Right.
Prior to his major league debut in 1995, which pitcher led Japan's Pacific League in wins 4 straight seasons?
Hideo Nomo.
True.
How many Z's are in Coach Mike Krzyzewski's last name?
None.
2. Wrong.
In 1999, Moroccan runner Hikam El Garouche set a world record time of 3 minutes 43.13 seconds in the race of what length?
1 mile.
Right.
Longtime Vikings QB Fran Tarkenton co-hosted what TV show with John Davidson and Kathy Lee Crosby?
That's incredible.
True.
For what university did NBA's Penny Hardaway play college hoops?
Memphis State.
Right.
Which high-scoring NL club became known as the Blake Street Bombers in the 1990s?
The Indians.
Colorado.
Which left-handed Arizona State golfer was the NCAA men's individual champion in 89, 90, and 92?
Phil Mickelson.
Right.
Which Atlanta Braves saw his career derailed by vertigo in 1990?
Oh, Brett Butler.
No, Asaski. Nick Asaski.
What was the first Division I college that Troy Aikman attended?
Oklahoma.
Right.
Which 1981-82 NBA Rookie of the Year later became president of the NBA Players Association?
Darrell Griffith.
Buck Williams.
What was Y.A. Tittle's given first name?
Yeah.
Yelberton. Couldn't quite get that one out, but a great round out of you. You go from 9 up to 21. You've got the lead. Swap places. Find out if Roger can hang on at 21 points. So, Brian, you've done some gaming in your life. This isn't gambling here. This is science. But I understand you did some betting on the Kentucky Derby with your grandparents. They
Yeah.
influenced you that way. How much money were you laying down?
Very high stakes.
How much?
Quarter each.
Quarter?
Yeah. Bold Forbes won the 76 Kentucky Derby, and I won 75 cents.
That's not bad. You can do far better than that. You know, given inflation, maybe it is the same as that quarter in 1975. I don't know. $5,000 that goes to you if you can prevail. You're down 21 to 13. You saw how the second round works, a little different than the first. Set to go.
Born ready. Let's do
Your
it.
2-minute drill begins now.
Which Rams Pro Bowl rusher signed a huge contract with the Indianapolis Colts in 1987?
Eric Dickerson.
Right.
Which Lakers big man shared the 2000 NBA All-Star MVP award with Tim Duncan?
Shaquille O'Neal.
True.
Which tennis major is played in Flushing, New York?
The U.S. Open.
Right.
Which St. Louis Cardinal played in a record 24 Major League All-Star games?
Stan Musial.
Correct.
What governmental organization was the lead sponsor for Lance Armstrong's team in the 2000 Tour de France?
U.S. Postal Service.
Correct.
Cy Young Award winner Pedro Martinez has appeared in the same Major League rotation with which of his brothers?
Ramon
Correct.
Martinez.
Which high-scoring Orlando Magic player bought Payne Stewart's house in 2000?
Grant Hill.
No, Tracy McGrady.
What college has produced the most Heisman Trophy winners with 7?
Notre Dame.
True.
What is the name of Columbus, Ohio's NHL expansion team?
The Blue Jackets.
Of course.
Held by many pitchers, what is the Major League record for most strikeouts in an inning?
4.
Why not?
Paul Pressey is the all-time leader in assists for what NBA team?
The Sacramento Kings.
Bucks.
Who was the first head coach since Vince Lombardi to lead the Packers to a Super Bowl victory?
Paul Holmgren.
Mike Holmgren.
Which school now in the Mountain West Conference boasted 3 of the first 12 players taken in the 1991 NBA draft?
Utah.
UNLV.
Which skating announcer is the only American male figure skater to win 2 Olympic gold medals?
Dick Button.
Right.
In 1997, which Seattle Mariners infielder had a club record 24-game hitting streak?
Harold Reynolds.
Joey Cora.
Who was the intended receiver on the 1972 pass known as the Immaculate Reception?
Frenchie Fuqua.
Right.
In 1981, which Jamaican defeated Muhammad Ali in Ali's final professional bout?
Trevor Burbick.
True.
Which Big Ten linebacker was the Washington Redskins' first draft pick?
LeVar Arrington.
You got it. Right before the buzzer, right at it. 26 points for you. You're the champ. You get $5,000. Going to try to change that into $10,000. Got to say goodbye to Roger. We're sorry to do that, but we will get him a refreshing beverage on the way out. We're coming right back to just a talk, actually. But we'll have the question of great significance real soon.
Here's the answer to tonight's Saturn 2-minute drill trivia question.
Back on the 2-minute drill, Brian Davenport has prevailed. He moves along in the tournament into the second round. He's trying to work his way up the ladder in this summer-long tournament. In fact, he's seated in front of me right now. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Kenny.
Tough match. Joe Paterno is
Yep.
your specialty for the question of great significance. Why'd you pick him?
It was either going to be that or 1981 UNLV football.
Truly?
The question would be about you, so.
A
to
minor
pick-
role in that.
Yeah, I had to pick an icon. Been going to Penn State games since I was 7 years old. Went to school there. Followed his career the whole way. Great coach, great person. So just hope that you guys can ask me a question I know.
We didn't ask for an essay. We just want you to answer a question, okay? No, that's great. Respected man, always turns out. And the thing is, they graduate, too.
Short answer, yes.
Yeah, you have a thesis that sports have kind of gone downhill in that. We'll talk about that later in the
Okay.
street, but we'll come right back on the 2-minute drill to find out if he really knows a lot about Joe Paterno.
Time for the original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. The answer to tonight's original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. ESPN's 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Saturn, now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series. And by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original.
We are back on the 2-Minute Drill, about to ask Brian Davenport a very, very difficult question about Joe Paterno. We didn't get to be a billion-dollar company by giving away money, now did we? It is time for the question of great significance. You okay?
Moving around here like a Disneyland ride.
That's what we compared it with the other day, like the teacup. Joe Paterno has been a very successful college tackle football coach for a very long time. It's kind of an introductory sentence. That means he wins lots of games. Let's see what you know. For $10,000, a total of, tell me, who did Penn State beat for Joe's 100th win, 200th win, and 300th win? And by the way, give me the final score in that 100th win.
North Carolina State in 1976, 41-20.
It's pretty good so far.
And both the other two, Bowling Green. Yeah.
Good man. $10,000 for you. Thank you guys very much for being here. Hope to see you again on the show. We'll see you in the second round when you go from 10,000 to 20,000. See you next time on ESPN's 2-Minute Drill. ESPN's 2-Minute Drill summer-long tournament continues inside your TV set. Tonight's winner, Brian Davenport, carries on to the second round. He's going to face the winner of Game 11. Please don't miss next week's matchup. We will crown another quarterfinalist that night.
Two-Minute Drill has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Which major league first baseman is nominated in what city for the NFL?
Your 2-Minute Drill begins now. Welcome again, sports fans. It's ESPN's 2-Minute Drill. We got 2 gentlemen over there who've won their first-round matches. They're trying to win $10,000 in this show, and maybe even $20,000 if they can answer the question of great significance correctly at the end of the show. We'll get to them real soon. Right now, let's meet our good panelist, John Sally. He's an NBA champion 4 times over. Good to see you. Robert Tractor Trailer's with us, another NBA stud. My old pal Warren Moon played in the NFL and CFL for a couple hundred years. And Tom Jackson, one of the pioneers of the ESPN 2-Minute Drill. John, you were named, I forget what year it was, named best interview in the NBA. So you weren't giving those lame, you know, head down, don't want to talk things after games. You'd always give something even if you got 2 minutes.
Yeah, I learned how to do sound bites just so I can get on this show in my twilight years.
And it worked out for you, though, pretty
hey,
well.
look, I'm sitting next to you. You're my favorite. Look what happened.
Well, that's nice of you to say. We could establish an even deeper bond, because I understand you have a film production company. I have a script. We're looking for a couple million to get this thing up and running.
Oh, good. You have your people call my people, and they'll do lunch, and then maybe they'll tell me.
Is your cell phone on or off right now? Which ring are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Lakers ring because it was the last one. I'm keeping my my newest
ring.
girlfriend. It's genetics.
And you were the leader of that team, or were you just kind of getting like the last couple minutes?
No, I was definitely a leader, but you didn't see me on court because I was so stealth and I kept Shaq on the court.
It's the things that you provided off the court that really helped.
It was
enable
me
that
saying,
team to
please
succeed.
don't get a 4th foul. I'm not taped. That kind of stuff.
All right, thanks for being here. The rest of you will talk to you presently. Right now, we got to go over the rules in the first round because that's what they tell me to do. We have 1 point for each contestant if an answer is given that's correct. Does that make any sense? Good. Each of the panelists has 4 questions they'll be asking the contestants. They'll ask them in consecutive order. If the contestant gets all 4 questions answered correctly, a bonus point is awarded. So there are 20 points total to be awarded in the first round if a category is swept all the way across the board. That was one of the longer rules explanations we've ever had, but that's okay. It's been a long day. Let's bring him up. He's Eric Richardson, 30 years old, Fort Washington, Maryland. Eric, you know, we gave you a little bit of a hard time about your specialty being bowling. And I know that's, you know, it's wrong because, you know, I was playing stereotype stuff and I should be caned for that. But it's great that you're enthusiastic. You buy the marshmallow pies for 50 cents. You rent your shoes, go out there and have some fun. Am I close? See, John,
Pretty close, pretty
John
close.
Sally, an NBA player, would have given a longer answer right there. That's why he was voted the best interview in 1987 of the.
I need to take some tips from him.
Yeah, well, you need to concentrate on the game, right? I mean, you're all about studying up, and your bowling specialty. Did you actually like pull out the old manuals and like look at each year in the '80s and try to get serious about it?
Yeah, I filled out, I got a media guide and went over all the years in the 80s.
Do you ever feel like just running and sliding and knocking all the pins over and just being all crazy?
Especially when I'm bowling bad, yeah.
All right, what's your average again? Like two?
In the 200s.
That's good stuff. Let's see if you can be that successful in this show. All right, we know the rules. Let's go with the categories. John has the A is for athletic. Okay, talking about athletics there, baseball. Robert has don't forget the Motor City. Who can forget the Motor City? Warren, Pac-10 quarterbacks. He was one of those. And Tommy has title bouts. Tom's big boxing nut. All right, set to go?
Yep.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
John Sally.
Which Oakland A's speedster led the team in steals as a 20-year-old and again as a 39-year-old?
Ricky Henderson.
Right.
In 1932, who set the A's franchise record for the most home runs in a season in 1958?
No, with 58.
With 58.
Mark McGuire.
Jimmy Fox.
In 1988, which shortstop became the third straight Oakland A to win the AL Rookie of the Year?
Walt Weiss.
Right.
Which A's outfielder hit the team's first regular season home run after the franchise moved to Oakland?
Reggie Jackson.
True, you're done.
Robert Traylor.
Which longtime Pistons guard retired in 1999 as the team's all-time leader in games played?
Joe Dumars.
Right.
Which former Pistons bruiser wore ghoulish face masks after sustaining an injury in the 1990 game?
Bill Laimbeer.
Right.
Which Detroit Piston made back-to-back NBA All-Star Game appearances in 2000 and 2001?
Pass.
Stackhouse.
Which tough guy from the Pistons' 1988-89 championship team played at Hampton Institute?
Pass.
Mahorn. He's done.
Warren Moon.
In the 2000 season, which University of Washington alumnus played quarterback in the NFL at age 44?
Warren Moon.
Right.
Which NFC East quarterback led Arizona State to the 1997 Rose Bowl?
Jake Plummer.
True.
Achilles Smith was his third overall pick in the 1999 draft. Which school did he come from?
Oregon.
Right.
Name the Buffalo Bills quarterback who threw for a school record 58 touchdowns at USC.
Joe Ferguson.
Rob Johnson. He's done.
Tom Jackson.
What country hosted the classic Thriller Manila?
Zaire.
Philippines.
Other than Buster Douglas, who is the only man who has beaten Mike Tyson in a title fight?
Evander Holyfield.
Right.
Detroit's Kronk boxing team was founded by what legendary trainer?
Lou Duva.
Emmanuel Stewart. One more.
Gentleman Jim Corbett won the world heavyweight title in 1892 by
Didn't
knocking
get all the way through it, but everybody knows that was John L. Sullivan, right? 9 points. That's pretty good out of you. No bonuses. See how good that is. You need some points in the second round. Once you guys swap places and find out how we do as we carry on in the first round. Brian Davenport, Alexandria, Virginia. So you guys actually, he's from Fort Washington, Maryland, Alexandria, Virginia, right there in that Beltway area, right?
Battle of the Potomac here.
And I'm sure you brought all your fans with you to root you on. Married, 2 sons, Ben 3, Mitch 3 months. Thanks for not bringing Mitch, because he would have been loud and interrupted the game. But we love kids. Your specialist, Joe Paterno. You'll get to answer a question about him only if you win. All right, he leads 9-0. Let's go over your categories.
Okay.
John has streakers, guys with some long runs and this or that. Robert with we score the points, all those guys who put it in. Warren, not necessarily the NFL. Okay?
Okay.
It's going to be a good one. Tommy has going the distance. Tom's a huge boxing guy. All right. You ready to go?
As Rudy Rudiger said, I've been ready for this my whole life.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Warren Moon.
Which Super Bowl winning Rams quarterback previously played in NFL Europe?
Kurt Warner.
Right.
Which UCLA and ex-Bronco quarterback led the XFL in passing yards in its first season?
Tommy Maddox.
Right.
In 1975, running back Larry Zonka played in what professional football league?
WFL.
Right.
Which Saints linebacker out of Montclair State began his pro football career with the USFL's Philadelphia Stars?
Ricky Jackson.
Sam Mills, he's done.
Tom Jackson.
Which Panamanian won the welterweight title in 1980 by going the distance with Sugar Ray Leonard?
Roberto Duran.
Sure.
Ezra Charles went the distance with what undefeated heavyweight champ in 1954?
Rocky Marciano.
Right.
Who took Muhammad Ali the distance twice in 1978, winning once and losing once?
Leon Spinks.
Sure.
In 1998, Croatian Zed Mavrovic went the distance but lost the decision against what heavyweight champ?
Lennox Lewis.
That's right. Bonus.
John Sally.
In 1958, which Red Sox great reached base 16 consecutive times?
Ted Williams.
Right.
Name the Expos outfielder who had 31-game hitting streak in 1999.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Correct.
In 2000, which Cleveland Indian tied the American League record by scoring at least one run in 18 straight games?
In 2000, Kenny Lofton.
Right.
Famous for an All-Star Game performance, which New York Giant pitcher won 24 consecutive decisions in 1936 to 1937?
Carl Hubble.
Right. Bonus.
Robert Traylor.
In March 2001, which aerial artist became the all-time leading scorer in Raptors history?
Vince Carter.
True.
Which LSU guard left school in 1970 with the most career points in men's NCAA Division I history?
Pete Maravich.
Right.
Which diminutive Rockets guard scored 68 points in a game while at Niagara University in 1968?
Austin Carr.
No, Calvin Murphy. One more.
In 1949, which Philadelphia Warrior scored 63 points, an NBA record that lasted over 10 years?
Can you repeat it?
In 1949, which Philadelphia Warrior scored 63 points?
Hal Greer.
Joe Fultz, of course. Okay. All right, you missed a couple, but pretty good round. You got 13 points, plus you swept 2 categories. You go up to 15. You lead 15 to 9. Got a commanding lead as we go to the second round. Stay around. We will continue and find out who prevails and moves on into the quarterfinals as ESPN's 2-minute drill comes back after this.
ESPN's 2-minute drill is brought to you by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. And by Saturn. Now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series. To play along with tonight's 2-minute drill, log on to Enhanced TV at ESPN.com now.
So we've divided the field of 32 into 8 groups of 4. Each group will yield 1 quarterfinalist. The winner of tonight's second round game will be the 4th person to advance to the quarters.
Time for the Saturn 2-minute drill trivia question.
We are back on the 2-minute drill. Going to carry on with round 2 presently, but right now I want to continue talking with our panelists to try to get our appearance fee money out of them. Robert Tractor Trailer. Did you borrow that from Prince or what? What is that?
No, it's actually just my initials.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Big guy, need some
Just
big
want to be
initials?
recognized.
We wouldn't have known it was you otherwise. I mean, you have a big presence in a room on the court. You know, your style is about filling up some space, right, on the court?
Oh, yeah. Trying to be dominant in the paint. Can't block shots like John did in his career, but fill a little space up.
But you're deceptively quick, right?
Yeah, I try to be.
All right.
I ain't got the stealth like John, but.
Appreciate you being on the panel. My old pal Warren Moon, University of Washington, Canada, tackle football all over the U.S.
All over the place.
Did you finally just get tired? Just arm got sore? What happened?
It was a long grind, man. 23 years is a long time to do anything. So it's time to move on and do some other things.
Absolutely. And when you count up all the yards, right? You count up all the yards, you're the guy, aren't you?
I guess
Canada
so.
and U.S.
If you say I am, I'm the guy.
Well, I'm not all that, I'm not all that great.
Because you're the host, man.
Statistics is, but you know, what are you doing next? What's going on?
I think I'm gonna do a little television. I'm interviewing with a couple of different networks right now, and just gonna make a decision here pretty quickly on what I'm gonna do this fall. So
Sally's selling T-shirts, everything that you might want him to represent you. He can take care.
We all need jobs.
That's right. Well, you got the guy right next to you, Tommy Jackson, does so well in all the NFL tackle football stuff we got at ESPN, and Tom.
Should I tell you about this pen
Go
that
ahead.
I bought down on
Tell your
Times
story.
Square?
You got about 20 seconds, though. Go.
This pen I bought on Times Square.
All right, Tommy, thanks for bringing that to the plate. The prizes for the losing contestants are purchased by Tom Jackson in Times Square. Under international rules, the second-place player starts round 2. All right, let's go over the rules here in the second round. Like the first, every question answered correctly is worth 1 point, but the difference is in the second round, the contestant won't know where the questions are coming from, except that they will come from the blue table, and they'll be about sports. The contestant doesn't get to choose the panelist. Winner of this round, the total point value goes on to play in the question of great significance and try to take the $10,000 won in the second round and turn that into $20,000 in this very show. All right, Eric, you're down right now. You're in a rough situation, down 9-15 up against a tough opponent, but keep plugging, get up the field, whatever. Just try hard.
All right, I'm ready.
And then whatever happens, go bowling. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Which 7-time All-Star Blue Jay pitcher led the AL in shutouts in 1982 with 5?
Dave Steve.
Right.
Howard Schultz, founder of Starbucks, purchased what NBA franchise in 2001?
Seattle Supersonics.
Right.
How many games did Tennessee's football team lose en route to the 1998 NCAA championship?
None.
Exactly.
In 2001, which owner of 107 tennis singles titles told a German newspaper she'd like to be called Stephanie?
Steffi Graf.
Right.
Which National League pitching ace won Golden Glove every year in 1990s?
Greg Maddux.
Right.
Which New York Knick of the 60s and 70s was dubbed Dollar Bill because of his frugality?
Bill Bradley.
Right.
Which future Pro Bowl NFC rusher took home the 1998 Heisman Trophy as an Oklahoma State Cowboy?
88.
Barry Sanders.
Right.
In the 1994 movie The Air Up There, Kevin Bacon travels to Africa scouting talent for what sport?
Basketball.
Right.
Which fireballer became the first major leaguer to have his number retired by 3 different teams?
Nolan Ryan.
Right.
Which heavyweight champ of the late 30s and 40s defeated Jim Braddock, Billy Conn, and Jersey Joe Walcott?
Joe Louis.
Good.
Which Morehead State quarterback was the Giants' top draft pick in 1979?
Phil Simms.
True.
Which veteran Raptors power forward was cited as on GQ's 1997 All Underrated Fashion List?
Charles Oakley.
Right.
Name the Vikings defensive end who was the NFC Defensive Player of the Year in 1992.
John Randall.
Chris Dolman.
Who head coached Michigan State to the 1979 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship?
Judd Heathcote.
Right.
Hockey Hall of Famer Dennis Savard began and ended his 17-year NHL playing career with what Midwestern team?
Chicago Blackhawks.
Right.
Who was the first African-American major league manager?
Frank Robbins.
Right.
Which 1997 U.S. amateur champ golfed his way to a tie for 14th at the 1998 U.S. Open?
Matt Kuchar there at the end, but a great round. They're going to sweep the whole thing. Just a couple misses. You go from 9 all the way up to 24 points. You got the lead, swap places, and we'll see what occurs next. All right, Brian. You led 15-9. He scored 15. That means if you were to score 9, you'd be tied, but you don't want that to happen, do you?
No.
No.
Let's go
If
for
you
10.
score 10, you win. If you don't, then we'll go to tiebreaker, whatever. Let's just deal with it when we come to it, all right?
Okay.
You saw how it works. Questions come from all over the place. These guys are set to go. Your 2-minute drill, quiet in the audience, begins now.
Which country's sprinters were criticized for excessive celebrating after winning the 4x100 relay at the 2000 Olympics?
USA.
Right.
Which legendary big man was the last player before Allen Iverson won the NBA scoring title as a 76er?
Will Chamberlain.
Right.
Which 35-year-old St. Louis Cardinal stole 118 bases in 1974?
Lou Brock.
Right.
Which Denver Broncos quarterback was named MVP of Super Bowl 33?
John Elway.
Right.
In 1987, who hit 308 while playing next to his shortstop brother in the Baltimore Orioles infield?
Cal Ripken.
No, Billy.
The 1997 HBO movie Only in America was about which controversial boxing promoter?
Don King.
Right.
The Cowboys dealt Herschel Walker to what team in the 1998 blockbuster trade? 1989 blockbuster trade.
Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
In 2001, which ACC men's basketball team made its first NCAA Final Four appearance in school history?
Maryland.
True.
In 1993, which tennis great was posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Arthur Ashe.
Right.
Who stepped down as Princeton's men's basketball head coach after leading his team to the 1996 NCAA tournament?
Pete Carroll.
True.
Who is the only member of Major League Baseball 3000 hit club to be born in Panama?
Roberto Clemente.
Rod Carew.
In the 1999 divisional playoffs, the Indianapolis Colts lost to what eventual AFC champ?
Tennessee Titans.
True.
Which former NBA slam dunk contest winner was arrested in 1996 for possessing illegal cellular phones?
Dominique Wilkins.
Isaiah Ryder.
What Big East school suspended 13 football players after a gambling scandal in 1996?
Boston College.
Right.
Along with Sam Snead, which 89-year-old golfing great hit the ceremonial first tee shot at the 2001 Masters?
Byron Nelson.
True.
In 1977, who became the first AL reliever to win the Cy Young Award?
Raleigh Fingers.
Sparky Lyle.
Really Blue and Quiet American are the parents of which 1998 Kentucky Derby winner?
Real quiet, but they never did get married, those two. You have 27. You have just won. You're the winner. You've won $10,000. Good job there. Got to say goodbye to Eric, but you got $10,000 to go buy new bowling equipment with. You're going to have a good life. Congratulations on the 10 grand. Stick around and find out if Brian can carry on and turn his 10 into 20 on his specialty, Joe Paterno, right after this.
answer to tonight's Saturn 2-minute drill trivia question.
We're back on the 2-minute drill, getting set for the question of great significance real soon. Now, I want to clear up something. I awarded Eric Richardson, the bowling nut, $10,000. Actually, he missed his question of great significance. For the bosses worried about us giving away too much money, that's $5,000 you got back in your pocket. You guys can throw one of those seminars where the salespeople push a medicine ball together or something. So we're all set there. All right, what we do have is Brian Davenport. He has moved on to the quarterfinals. He's the 4th man to be in the quarterfinals in this tournament as it carries on during the summer. Championship coming up in September. Nearly $250,000 going to the winner, a possibility of that anyway. All right, so Brian, you just mowed through your question on Joe Paterno in the first round. I don't know if it's going to be this easy this time, but...
Let's hope so.
Well,
Give me another easy.
I hope so, too. And, you know, you got a great ESPN experience. You're going to spend Sunday, and it says here you're going to spend it with Chris Berman and Stuart Scott at Sunday NFL Countdown. Apparently, Tom Jackson won't be around that week.
Oh, well, then I'm going to change my experience.
Don't you want to hang out with Tommy?
Tommy's got to be there.
Tommy's
I actually have the remote, so no one can watch the games.
Tommy kind of runs the room. If you haven't seen it, you're really going to enjoy it because the guys get in there and watch all the games, and they eat hamburgers, and it's really fun. All right, stay around. The 2-minute drill continues. We're going to find out if he really, really knows stuff about Joe Paterno right after this.
Time for the original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. Here's the answer to tonight's original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. ESPN's 2-minute drill is brought to you by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks. And by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original.
We're back on the 2-minute drill, getting set for the question of great significance. Everyone on the panel has been great all show long, but John Sally is really starting to bother me.
Punch my train ticket?
It's kind of fun, isn't it?
I love it.
All right, Joe Paterno. What do you say if you win, you and I go up to Saratoga, I'll get you in for free, and then we'll split all your winnings in bed.
Okay.
Penn State has finished undefeated 5 times under Joe Paterno, but only once did this perfection result in a national championship. 3 unbeaten Nittany Lions teams finished the season at number 2 in at least one of the major polls. One season, the Joe Paterno team finished undefeated, but somehow didn't finish number 1 or 2 in the AP and UPI polls. For another $10,000, total of 20 in this show. In which season did an unbeaten Joe Paterno team finish neither 1 nor 2 in the polls? B, what were the Nittany Lions ranked at the end of that season? And here's a hint, it was the same in both polls. And finally, actually, secondarily, against what team that season did Penn State have its smallest margin of victory? And who did Penn State beat that season in the homecoming game? And what is my Social Security number?
All but the last one?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is, what did they finish? Or what year?
Hell if I know at this point. Yeah.
Okay, 1973.
Right.
They finished 5th.
Yep, you're good twice.
Okay.
Let's go on to the smallest margin of victory.
And the other one?
Who did they beat in the homecoming game?
Okay.
Your essay's doing a half an hour also. You said you're an expert.
Might want to improv while I think here.
Stop wasting our time. John Sally likes orange juice.
I'll say the smallest margin of victory was Syracuse.
You don't know really that much. North Carolina State. And homecoming, Iowa. But you got 20 grand in your pocket. You're in the quarterfinals. You got the ESPN experience. Thank you very much. Thank you in particular. See you next time on ESPN's 2-minute drill.
Two-minute drill has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Which Major League First Baseball dominated what city is the NFL?
Your 2-minute drill begins now. Welcome again, sports fans, particularly those of you joining us on Armed Forces Radio. So glad to have you. 8 men in the world now exist in this tournament. We started at 32 way back in June. Here we are at the end of the summer, getting set for the title game in September. But 8 are left in the quarterfinals, and we begin with the first of those quarterfinals. The overall winner could win nearly $250,000 as we give away less than $1 billion. Jake Luxembourg is 24 years old. He's the 7th seed. He's from Rochester, New York. Playing against the 2 seed on the left, Dave Grudberg, also known as Dave Grudberg. He's 40 years old. He's the old man in this. We got Grudberg, Luxembourg. It's like the Germanic states. The winner of this will go on to play one of these 2 men. They're in the audience. The 3 seed, Vinod Velikaturi, and the 6, Brian Davenport. Aren't they smartly dressed? All right, that's what's going on. Right now, you'd like to meet the panel. It's customary we say their names. The tackle football coach, Barry Alvarez, is with us. Great to have him. One of the greats in women's basketball. She's now a coach. Cynthia Cooper's with us. Gary Gaetti loves wiffle ball and baseball. And Paul McGuire, old tackle football player. Paul's been kind of used up in football, so now he announces that. All right, Barry, now speaking of injuries, you had that knee replacement. They had to pretty much lift you on a stretcher to get you up to watch your games. That was kind of weird, wasn't it?
It's kind of cool being on everybody's shoulders all the time, whether you win a game or not.
But up high in the press box, looking down, you're away from the field because there's a certain emotion about football.
Well, you know, now I see why the media knows so much.
Exactly. No
you can
pressure.
see everything up there.
It is so much easier, any sport, to stand above and watch it all develop. It's my contention that the Big Ten is not as good as the Pac-10. That's just me.
Well, I happen to think that top to bottom, we're probably the best.
But the thing is, Big Ten and Pac-10, you can argue they beat each other up. That's why they don't have those Florida State 11-0 records, right?
Well, I don't know about Florida State, but we have a chance in our league to go out and play the champions play in the Rose Bowl, and I think through the 90s, we've held our own pretty well.
It is the granddaddy of them all, isn't it?
That is correct.
Rose Bowl queen, all that. Thanks for being here. Talk to all you guys in just a minute. Right now, we're going to go over the rules. Same rules as have applied earlier. 1 point for every correct answer in the first round. Each panelist has 4 questions. If all 4 questions are answered correctly, a bonus point is awarded. Therefore, 20 points are possible in the first round of play, and let's get that going right now. He's 40. He's from North Haven, Connecticut. He's Dave Grudberg. Come on up. An attorney who's done some great things in the field of law. We talked about it before. You do your daily practice, but the big moment for you was getting a particular client out of prison, wrongfully convicted, so great work there. You've been charged with trying to carry on in this tournament. I know you got a lot of people rooting for you in Connecticut.
Let's hope so.
Did you bring any of them here?
Couldn't convince anyone to make the trip.
All right, so not that many people rooting for you, but you have a good luck charm. 2 regional final tickets. Do you carry them with you?
Have them right here in my pocket.
How much do those sell for?
Right now, they wouldn't sell for very much. Because...
No, originally, what'd you buy those for? All right, whatever. Do you know the rules in the first round?
Yes, I do.
Barry Alvarez has My Man Got the Heisman. That's coaches who are proud of their Heisman winner. Cynthia with Olympic Hoop Dreams. Gary has Fabulous Firemen, the closers that come out there. And Paul, Golf by the Numbers. Okay, you ready to go?
Ready.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Barry Alvarez.
Charlie Ward won the Heisman Trophy playing for which Florida State head coaching legend?
Bobby Bowden.
Right.
Which hefty running back won the Heisman Trophy while I was his head coach?
Ron Dane.
True.
Which quarterback coached by Jack Pardee at the University of Houston won that school's first Heisman Trophy?
Andre Ware.
Right.
In '92, the University of Miami quarterback, which University of Miami quarterback did Dennis Erickson coach to a Heisman Trophy?
Gino Toretta.
True. Bonus.
Cynthia Cooper.
In the gold medal game of the 1972 Olympics, Alexander Belov scored the controversial game-winning basket for what nation?
Soviet Union.
We'll take it.
Which former Chicago Bulls center has played on 3 Australian Olympic teams?
Luke Longley.
Right.
Which country took home gold in women's basketball at the 2000 Sydney Olympics?
United States.
True.
At the 1988 Olympics, Dino Raja, Vlade Divac, and Drazen Petrovic all won the silver medal playing for what country?
Croatia.
Yugoslavia.
Gary Gaetti.
Which closer led the majors in saves 2 times in the 90s, once with the Cubs and once with the Orioles?
Pass.
Randy Myers.
Which well-traveled reliever from the 1986 Mets is the all-time major league leader in games pitched?
John Franco.
Jesse Roscoe.
In 1998, stopper Tom Gordon led the American League in saves for what team?
Boston Red Sox.
Right.
In In 1991, which California Angels reliever topped the American League in saves with 46?
Troy Percival.
Ryan Harvey, he's done.
Paul McGuire.
Who is the only golfer besides Ben Hogan to win 3 modern majors in 1 year?
Tiger Woods.
Sure.
In 1973, which former Buckeye became the first PGA Tour player to reach $2 million in career earnings?
Jack Nicklaus.
Right.
Which is the par score on the majestic 18th hole at Pebble Beach Golf Links?
Par 5.
Yep.
Which 2000 Players Championship winner went a team best 3-1-1 for the U.S. Ryder Cup squad in 1999?
Hal Sutton.
True, right before the buzzer. Bonus as well. Great job out of you in the first round. Stay right there. Tell you what you did. Got 12 points on the board. You got all of Barry's right. You got all of Paul's right just for the buzzer. 2 bonus points. You go to 14. Nice round. You're in the lead. Swap places. Jake, come on up. All right, you all remember Jake, 24, the consultant, CPA. What do you do in that exactly when you consult people?
Whatever they ask me to.
Really?
When the checks don't bounce, that's the way I like it.
And you know a lot about math?
I used to.
So you'll be good on the prime number category that Paul has this round. Let's go over your categories. Barry has Big Ten football, and you know how he feels about Big Ten football. Cynthia with basketball MVPs. He's won about 12 of those. It's kind of getting old. Gary, riflemen, the guys with the good hose. Do not run on Jesse Barfield. And Paul does not have prime numbers. He has young Americans, tennis young Americans. You ready?
Okay.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Barry Alvarez.
Michigan football's Most Valuable Player Award is named after which Wolverine coach?
Heisman.
Schembechler.
Andy Katzenmoyer won the 1997 Butkus Award playing for what Big Ten school?
Ohio State.
Right.
In 1999, Bill Burke set what Big Ten school's single-game passing record for yards in a game?
Minnesota.
Michigan State.
Which former Atlanta Falcons wideout holds the Iowa Hawkeyes record for the most career receiving yards?
Billy Johnson.
Tim Dwight. He's done.
Cynthia Cooper.
Which Midwest Division center was the NBA's 1994 MVP?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Right.
The 1989 NBA Finals MVP was claimed by which soft-spoken Detroit Piston guard?
Grant Hill.
Dumars.
Which Houston Comets teammate of mine was the WNBA's MVP of the 2000 season?
Cheryl Swoops.
Right.
Which Laker was named NBA Finals MVP in 1969, even though his team didn't win the championship?
Jerry West.
Right, done.
Gary Gaetti.
Which strong-arm Pittsburgh Pirates outfielder won a Gold Glove every year from 1961 to 1972?
Roberto Clemente.
True.
In 1994, which rocket-armed outfielder shot down 16 base runners as a Dodgers rookie?
Raul Mondesi.
Correct.
Which Marlins catcher threw out over 48% of attempted base stealers, leading the National League in 1996?
Charles Johnson.
Right.
Which Detroit Tigers outfielder led the majors in assists in 2000?
Juan Encarnacion.
Higginson, he's done.
In 1990, which hard-serving American became the youngest man ever to win the U.S. Open tennis tournament?
Pete Sampras.
Right.
Name the 16-year-old American prodigy whose ground strokes carried her to the semis in 1971 U.S. Open?
Chris Evert.
Right.
Which 18-year-old American amateur team with Mary Carrillo to win the 1997 French Open mixed doubles title?
Brad Safin.
McEnroe, John.
In 1998, which 16-year-old American woman won the mixed doubles title in both Wimbledon and the U.S. Open?
Serena Williams. You had the wrong sister in that case, but you got some of them right. You go to 9 points. You're not out of it. Got a big in the second round, though. We'll come back on the 2-minute drill. Jake is going to try to come back in his 5-point deficit he's in. We'll be right back.
ESPN. Here's the answer to tonight's Saturn 2-minute drill trivia question.
Back on the 2-minute drill, we're excited. The first quarterfinal game in the summer-long tournament. One of our competitors in this show will win at least $15,000, a chance to turn that into $30,000 at the end of the show. The guy who doesn't win will be rushed out the door and given cab fare, but he will keep everything he's won so far. It's customary right now that we talk to the rest of our panelists. The great Cynthia Cooper is with us. 4 titles, 4 championship MVPs, 2 regular season MVPs, and then just became a coach.
Yeah, it was about that time. You know, I had conquered everything as a player, and now it's time for me to try and conquer everything as a head coach.
And have you ever gone one-on-one with Michael Jordan? Because you are the Michael Jordan of your league.
I think Mike has been ducking me. But I think now, once he gets back to the NBA and gets, you know, back in shape and gets his game back, I think then he'll challenge me.
When the women lose, do they get emotional and cry afterward?
No, we get emotional and curse. No, just kidding. No, we play with a lot of passion, so we're very into the game, and if we lose, we're definitely very disappointed.
Well, it's great watching you play. Good luck in your coaching career. Gary, I know your love for baseball is evident, but it's wiffle ball that it was the foundation for it all, right?
Great sport.
It is, and you know it's headquartered in Connecticut.
I didn't know that.
It is true.
I like the solid yellow, the
thin yellow bat is the only
bat.
It's the only official bat. I mean, when people are using those big fat bats, it's illegal and the records don't count, right?
I think they could probably learn a lot if you incorporate some of this stuff into spring training. And I definitely think for the little guys that it's a great drill for
because smaller bat, smaller ball, and you really got to concentrate.
A lot better.
But doesn't it throw off your timing? Like if you were to go play some wiffle ball in mid-season or something, would you come back and be off timing?
I don't know, a lot of guys play ping pong during the season, that kind of stuff too. So
right.
A
lot of guys still stay out till 4 a.m. drinking.
I think it's all eye-hand coordination.
That's their choice.
Ping pong and wiffle ball, huh?
Another big drinker. Paul McGuire's with us.
Wait a minute, this guy plays 18 years in the majors. You talking about wiffle ball?
Absolutely. I talked about it beforehand, and he was absolutely. You're okay with that, right?
Oh, yeah.
We just want to talk about your career
Forget
stats.
about all the other stuff he did.
You're eating your own time here, by the way,
by
Paul.
any means.
Looking forward to the season. Pick a winner. Championship. Who's winning?
Come on. I'll take the Raiders. The Raiders are really going to be strong.
Okay, they lost the suit, though, so that's going to kind of bum out Al during the season, but good luck always. All right, let's go over the rules in the second round. Very similar to the first round. Every question answered correctly is worth 1 point. The difference is the contestants don't get to ask where the questions will come from. They'll just come. They'll just arrive. $15,000 to the winner after this round is completed. And then the question of great significance, where $15,000 can be turned into $30,000, but only if that very difficult question is answered correctly. All right, Jake, you're down 9-14. You've been in tougher spots, right?
Yes, sir.
Like what?
CPA exam.
The CPA exam was harder than this?
Much.
Truly?
The CPA exam is more an exam that tests. It's so broad. If you don't know everything, you're kind of dead in the water.
Sounds pretty similar to this, actually. All right, I want to bring you back up. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Boom Boom was a nickname for which 1982 lightweight box champion?
Ray Mancini.
Right.
Which big man left Wake Forest in 1997 as the ACC's all-time leading shot blocker?
Tim Duncan.
Yep.
In March 2001, the Buccaneers claimed which hot-headed former Chargers quarterback off waivers?
Ryan Leaf.
Right.
Which pro baseball great was nicknamed the Say Hey Kid?
Willie Mays.
Of course.
From what SEC school did the Orlando Magic draft Mike Miller in 2000?
Florida.
Yep.
Famous for once weeping after tough losses, which Czech won her only Grand Slam singles title at Wimbledon in 1998?
Jan Novotny.
Correct.
In 1972, which Red Sox catcher was the first AL player to be named unanimous Rookie of the Year
Carl
choice?
Fisk.
Right.
Fisk.
Right.
Which NFL team played its home games in Husky Stadium in the 2000 season?
Seattle Seahawks.
True.
Which eccentric Major League owner tried to persuade Vida Blue to change his first name to True?
Charlie Finley.
Right.
Aside from the Denver Broncos, Mike Shanahan has been head coach of what AFC team?
LA Raiders.
Correct.
Which NBA franchise hired Alvin Gentry as head coach in August 2000?
LA Clippers.
True.
Which St. Louis Blue is the only defenseman other than Bobby Orr to win the National Hockey League's Hart and Norris trophies in the same season?
Chris Pronger.
True.
Name the Montreal Expos rookie whose 42 stolen bases were only good for third on a team in 1990.
Marquise Grissom.
Delano DeShields.
In the 2000 season, which wideout led Arizona in receiving yards in just his second year in the NFL?
David Boston.
Right.
Who head coached the 1970 NBA champion New York Knicks?
Red Holtz.
True.
Which Red Wings defenseman ended the 2000-2001 regular season in second place on the National Hockey League's list of career games played?
Larry Murphy.
Correct.
Which Cincinnati Red was the first player to steal over 60 bases and hit over 25 home runs in a season?
Dave Collins.
Joe Morgan.
Which Triple Crown hopeful beat Captain Bodgett by a head-to-head win in 1997 Kentucky?
Real quiet.
Silver Charm. Silver Charm. Good job by you repeating the answer because you were a little early on the one. Great round. You go from 9 up to 24, and you make it very tough on Dave as we swap places and find out who prevails here for the $15,000. All right, Dave. You gave you something there.
It's a great round.
Down by 10. I thought he was sweeping through the whole thing. It's never happened. It's only happened once, and that was in first round play by Herm Sorcher, but that was a long time ago. Is your wife Elizabeth here?
She is not.
Really, nobody came to see you play, right?
My brother works about 2 blocks away. I thought maybe we could entice him to wander over, but apparently not.
All right, you're on your own. You come into life alone and you go out alone, and you do the 2-minute drill in the same manner, apparently in your case. No interrupting. Remember that rule. He did a great job there correcting himself. I was just about to ask to repeat. All right. Your 2-minute drill begins now. Gary.
Which Chicago White Sox All-Star put a big hurt on American League pitchers in 1997 when he led the league in batting?
Frank Thomas.
Right.
What AFC team's defense allowed 165 points in 2000, an NFL record for a 16-game season?
Baltimore Ravens.
True.
Which golfer from down under led the PGA Tour in scoring average 4 times in the 90s?
Greg Norman.
Right.
What Pac-10 school lost in the finals of the 2001 NCAA men's basketball tournament?
Pass.
Arizona.
Which Yankee slugger rang up the only Triple Crown season of the 1950s?
Mickey Mantle.
Right.
In the 1992 NBA draft, which Georgetown center was selected 2nd overall by the Hornets?
Alonzo Mourning.
Right.
The offensive line of what 1970s team was known as the Electric Company because they turned on the juice?
Buffalo Bills.
Right.
In 98, Luke Robitaille scored his 1,000th career regular season NHL point while playing for what team?
LA Kings.
True.
With Jeff Montgomery and Scott Service leading the way, what AL Central team had more blown saves than saves in 1999?
Kansas City Royals.
True.
Named the CEO of Death Row Records, who played 2 games for the Los Angeles Rams in 1987.
Suge Knight.
True.
In the final bout of his career, Joe Louis was knocked out by which undefeated boxer?
Rocky Marciano.
Right.
Taking the court for the Blazers in 1996, who became the youngest man to play in an official NBA game?
Pass.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Which speedy switch-hitting center fielder made the Brewers his 6th major league team in 2001?
Pass.
Devon White.
In January 1972, what AFC team became the first in history not to score a touchdown in a Super Bowl?
Miami Dolphins.
Correct.
Which former Masters champ was captain of the victorious 1999 American Ryder Cup squad?
Tom Kite.
Ben Crenshaw.
Who resigned as head coach of the Washington Wizards in April of 2001?
Leonard Hamilton.
Correct.
Who led the Lions in rushing?
We won't be able to get to that. It was Billy Sims for those of you watching at home. You win by 2, 26-24. You've won another $15,000. You got to say goodbye to Jake. You've won, what, 30 grand?
Yes,
That's
sir.
not bad.
Not bad at all.
We come back with Dave Grudberg. So far, you've missed all your questions of great significance, but nevertheless, you have $30,000 so far. Going to try to add another 15 to that. We'll be right back for the question of great significance and other things.
Time for the Lee Dungarees 2-minute drill trivia question. Here's the answer to tonight's Lee Dungarees 2-minute drill trivia question.
We're back on the 2-minute drill, getting set here, moving toward the title game on the 11th of September. Dave Grudberg could be in it, maybe not, but he is the first man in the history of the world to advance to the semifinals. He's gotten out of the quarters. He wins this game. He won another $15,000, but you really don't have a clue about that UNC basketball team from 92 to 93, because so far you've missed both your questions of great significance.
I've been close, but no cigar on both of them.
Do you get nervous all of a sudden? What happens to you?
No, you guys ask really hard questions.
Yeah, that's right. We have a good research team, and they look them up. Now, you've won another ESPN experience. You've already have one. You're going to the Big East tournament. Now you're going to go to the ESPN road trip on Sunday Night Baseball. That's a good time.
Sounds good. Sounds great.
They know their baseball, and they do it like every Sunday, is the way I understand it. Your question will be about UNC basketball again, 92-93. If you had your druthers, would you switch right now and pick some other category, or stick with that?
No, I think I'll stick with my first choice.
All right. Do it for your wife, and do it for the child you're expecting in October. That child will forever be proud of his father or her father. They don't know yet, but they'll be surprised, and we'll surprise them with a hard question real soon.
Time for the original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. Here's the answer to tonight's original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. ESPN's 2-minute drill is brought to you by Lee Dungarees, Can't Bust 'em, and by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original.
Back on the 2-minute drill, Dave Grudberg has advanced. He's into the semifinals. There are many questions in life. There are dumb questions. There are questions of clarification. On this show, there is the question of great significance. The 1992-93 North Carolina Tar Heels were led in three-point shooting by Donald Williams, who jacked up 199 trays that season. Not everybody on the squad had a green light from Coach Smith. In fact, 4 of those Heels didn't even try one three-pointer that year, not one. Tell me, who were they? Matt Wenstrom. Keep talking because we have time to fill. He's not one of them. Go for 4 out of 5 and I'll give you a drink of water afterward.
Ed Geth.
Yeah.
Travis Stevenson.
I'm not even going to give you the water now. Eric Montross, Kevin Salvadori, Ed Geth, and Pierce or Purse Landry. Is it Pierce or Purse on that guy?
Pierce.
Yeah, I thought so. Sorry, but you got 30 grand. You're in the semifinals. We'll see you in the semis. Good luck always. Thank you all. Best panel we've ever had. See you next time on ESPN's 2-minute drill. Goodbye.
Another chance to play along with 2-minute drill. Log on to ESPN.com now for Enhanced TV. Another episode of ESPN's 2-minute drill is next. Two-minute drill has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Which Major League First Baseball make the one city in the NFL?
Your 2-minute drill begins now. Welcome again, sports fans. The summer tournament continues on the 2-minute drill. It's another quarterfinal game. We're very excited about it. Thank everyone listening on Armed Forces Radio and the military figures actually in the room. We've got a great quarterfinal setup. Let's introduce the players. Vinod Velikaturi. He's the number 3 seed in the whole deal. Playing against number 6, Brian Davenport there on the left. And whoever wins this game is getting set up to play a guy who's already into the next round, the semis. Dave Grudberg, the attorney from Connecticut. He's all ready to play. Big money on the line, $15,000 in this game, $30,000 at the end of the show if the question of great significance can be answered correctly. Right now, as is customary, I'd like to introduce our panelists and want to welcome for the first time Nancy Kerrigan joining us. Great to see you, the champion skaters with us. Michael Badalucco, he's been around a couple of times from the practice. Tony Dorsett was with us last season, the Hall of Fame tackle football player. And Jacques Vaughn, the good NBA player. He's, who knows where he'll be. He's all over the court. So you're married to your husband who, well, of course you're married to a husband. I mean, that would be strange if you weren't, but you're married to your husband. He's also your agent.
Yes, that's right.
Did he like get down on his knee and look at you and see the glow in your face and then hand you paperwork or a ring? How did he do that?
No, a ring, of course.
A ring? Big ring?
I thought it was too big.
Really? Did you take it back?
They laughed at me, actually, at the store.
But you were Mother of the Year. I just heard
I
this.
was.
And who gave that award to you?
The Mother's Day Foundation, which was really exciting because, I mean, someone thinks I'm influencing another person's life in a good way, that in a positive way. That's pretty exciting for me.
Absolutely, especially when it's your own son. But is he like
Yeah.
4, 4.5?
Almost 4.5, yeah.
Well, good luck
Yeah.
with your son, Matthew.
you.
And Matthew, hope you're watching. I hope Matthew watches Halloween on Ice. That's a good show for my money. Isn't that on ESPN this
It
year?
is on ESPN,
All right.
again this year.
Thanks for being on the panel. Thank you all for being here. Let's go over the rules. Every point is valuable. Each question answered correctly is worth 1 point. There are 4 questions for the panelists in the first round. If the contestant gets all 4 correct, a bonus point is awarded. Therefore, 20 points can be earned in the first round of play. We're going to begin that now. The 6th seed, Brian Davenport, is coming to the plate. Brian, get on up there. Brian is a benefits manager. I never talked to you about that before, did I? Your benefits managing. What do you do there?
It's a terribly exciting job. Actually, I manage the benefit program, employee benefits, medical dental programs for a...
Okay, that's
man.
great. You are a volunteer to try to bring the Summer Olympics to Baltimore and Washington in 2012.
2012, it'll be here before you know it.
Did you pay off the Salt Lake guys, or what happened there?
Can't talk about that, can
No,
we? That's,
you don't have that. You're trying to get the
We're
game.
trying to get them,
Yeah,
sure.
because I would have seen the wire on that.
I think you would have had an item on SportsCenter.
Let's go over your categories.
Okay.
Pretty good interview segment, though, huh?
Oh, thank you.
Nancy has figure skating. Go figure. Michael has Texas Rangers. I think they're baseball players. Tony in the Hall of Fame. Okay. And Jock going with pickpockets. That's the good kind, you know, when guys get steals. And offense starts with defense and all that. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Michael Battaluccio.
Named a Texas Rangers manager who resigned just 28 games into the 2001 Major League regular season.
Johnny Oates.
Right.
In 1999, which reliever set the Rangers' single-season team record in saves?
John Wetland.
Right.
What team moved and became the Texas Rangers in the 1972 baseball season?
Washington Senators.
Correct.
Which Rangers infield was named to consecutive All-Star games in 75 and 76?
Jeff Burrows.
Toby Hare, done.
Tony Dorsett.
Which former Monday Night Football colorman was a Pro Bowl St. Louis Cardinals offensive lineman in the 1970s?
Dan Dierdorf.
Correct.
Which Hall of Fame linebacker was the Miami Dolphins team MVP in 1969?
Nick Bonicani.
Correct.
In 2001, which Hall of Fame owner sarcastically called his Giants the worst team ever to win an NFC championship?
Wellington Mara.
Right.
Which people-eating Vikings Hall of Fame defensive tackle was actually born in Canton, Ohio?
Jim Marshall.
Alan Page, done.
John Vaughn.
Who is the only Chicago Bull to lead the NBA in both scoring and steals in 3 different seasons?
Michael Jordan.
Right.
In the 1985-86 season, Alvin Robertson had 301 steals while playing for what NBA team?
San Antonio Spurs.
True.
In 1999, which New Jersey Nets shooting guard tied the NBA record for steals in a game with 11?
Mookie Blaylock.
Kendall Gill.
Against what team did John Havlicek make his legendary steal in the 1965 Eastern Conference Finals?
Philadelphia 76ers.
Correct, done.
Nancy Kerrigan.
Which East German figure skater received 35,000 love letters after her medal-winning appearance in the 1984 Olympics?
Katarina Witt.
She's saucy.
What is the highest mark an Olympic judge can award a singles or pairs competitors in figure skating?
6.0.
Correct.
In 1978, Vern Taylor became the first skater to officially land what 3.5 rotation jump in competition?
Triple Lutz.
Triple axel is the one we could accept there. So 3 and 3, 2 and another. That seems like 11 to me. Great round. Almost got the bonus a couple times. Swap places. It's Vinod Velikaturi coming up. He's the physician. He's won $25,000 so far. Your competitor here has won $20,000 so far. So I don't really have any questions. Do you have anything to say?
Jock, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a KU grad myself, so go Hawks.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Huh?
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Exactly.
Jock and Vinod have never met, and yeah, there's nothing going on. Do you care about Tony or Tony's hot sauce?
I was a big fan of Tony back when he was playing for the Pitt Panthers and then the Cowboys.
What about Battalucco over here?
Hell the Pitt, huh? Yeah.
Anything for Battalucco? Nothing on Battalucco. How about?
I'm sorry.
She's pretty good.
I remember Nancy very well.
Good. Let's go over your categories. Nancy, that other ice sport, not her sport. Which one do you think it is? Hockey. Mike has swing and a miss, and he answers to anything. Just go blah, 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 and he'll answer. Tony has coaching legends, and Jock has the Suns also rise. Talking about the SUN Suns, SUNS. Ready? 2-minute drill begins now.
Jock Bond.
Which outrageous Suns forward was the NBA MVP for the 1992-93 season?
Charles Barkley.
Right.
Even though he didn't start for Phoenix, which Suns guard was voted to start the 1995 NBA All-Star Game?
Dan Marley.
Right.
Who is the owner and CEO of the Phoenix Suns?
Jerry Colangelo.
Right.
Which undersized Suns center was the NBA Rookie of the Year for the 1975-76 season?
Alvin Adams.
Rock chalk done.
Tony Dorsett.
Jimmy Johnson replaced which Cowboys head coach in 1989?
Tom Landry.
Right.
Which former coach is now a football analyst who travels to games on a bus due to his claustrophobia?
John Madden.
Right.
Which former AFC head coach was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2001?
Bill Parcells.
Marl Levy.
Buddy Parker coached which team to NFL titles in 1952 and 1953?
Detroit Lions.
True, done.
Michael Battalucco.
Which Diamondbacks ace moved past Bob Gibson on the all-time strikeouts list in May 2001?
Randy Johnson.
Correct.
Which outstanding Cubs pitcher led the National League in strikeouts in '69 with 273?
Ferguson Jenkins.
That's right.
Which Cardinals Hall of Famer led the major leagues in strikeouts 4 straight times in the 1930s?
Dizzy Dean.
Correct.
Name the Houston Astros pitcher who notched over 300 strikeouts in both '78 and 1979.
J.R. Richard.
Correct, Don.
Nancy
In
Kerrigan.
1994, which big center became the youngest team captain in Philadelphia Flyers history?
Eric Lindros.
Correct.
In the NHL, what trophy was awarded annually to the league MVP?
Hart Trophy.
Correct.
3 years after winning the Vezina Trophy as a Capital, which goaltender was sent to the IHL by the Blues in 1999?
Olaf Kolzig.
Jim Carrey.
Which 1979 Minnesota North Stars Rookie of the Year later became general manager of the Phoenix Coyotes?
Bobby Smith.
Correct, right at the buzzer. Great job by you. One of the best rounds we've seen here. You swept 2 categories, so 14 goes to 16. Of course, the world record is 20. But you got the lead, 16-11, a commanding lead. Going to see if it sticks, though. We're coming back with the second round. Rules just slightly different. Somebody's going to get $15,000 or maybe $30,000.
ESPN's 2-Minute Drill is brought to you by GMC. From professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks. And by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. To play along with tonight's 2-Minute Drill, log on to Enhanced TV at ESPN.com now. Time for the Saturn 2-Minute Drill Trivia Question. Here's the answer to tonight's Saturn 2-Minute Drill Trivia Question.
Back on the 2-minute drill, setting up for round 2 play of this quarterfinal game. One man will move on into the semifinals of the summer-long tournament, a chance at nearly $1 billion at the end of the whole thing. Michael Badalucco is back with us. Great to have you. You've been that guy. You're always there for us, right?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm like a pinch hitter, a good pinch hitter.
What was that movie you're in? Isn't that on DVD these days?
Yeah, which one? I've been
the Oh Brother thing?
Oh Brother,
Yeah.
Where Art Thou?
Was it funny?
Some of it is funny, yes.
Are you funny in it?
I play Babyface Nelson.
Oh, I can see.
Yeah.
But who else? There was like that one guy.
Another
the ER
TV
guy.
actor,
Yeah.
George.
Clooney.
Yeah, that's it.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's funny. He's a hillbilly. Yeah, he's good.
Isn't Clooney a good basketball player?
Yeah, he's quite a basketball
Is he better than you?
Not quite. We can go one-on-one. We'll see.
All right, you've been great. Thank you for being here. Tony Dorsett, you were with us, remember, last year. Do you remember that?
I think so.
Vaguely? It was
Yeah,
the same. It was a different set. I was sitting next to you in the middle last
Yeah,
year.
your hair's changed a little bit since.
Oh, I
last
told the guy to take off a little, and he was deaf, and he just just went off on me. So.
But it looks good. It looks very becoming. Man.
Thank you very much.
You gotta
Your hair looks good too.
Keep that style.
You're not exactly.
I got a little. I'm like you. I'm getting a little gray.
I have some on the side. So what do you got going? You got your ad thing going. You got your financial services. You got your hot sauce. You got TV. I mean.
Yeah, and
make a choice, man.
You know, Nancy was voted Mother of the Year. I'm up for an award too this year for Father of the Year.
Truly?
Along with Roger Staubach and Mayor Ron Kirk there in Dallas. So all three of us are going to be presented with Father of the Year awards. So I'm very proud of that. Of course, I got a 2-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old daughter.
Good man.
In Dallas.
The best thing in your life. I'm certain of that.
Absolutely.
And Jock, the best thing in your life. What's her name? You just got engaged, right?
Laura just got engaged recently. Yeah.
Good name. That's my wife too. But,
really?
Yeah.
That's not.
No.
Oh,
how
okay.
long have you known? How long have you known Laura?
5 years
You've
actually.
known 5 years back in Kansas.
Back in Kansas, yes.
And so that's probably why you spend your summers working out on your game back in Kansas. Stay closer to her.
Get to work out on my game and also get to be with her. So a little
Now, does
double
she put
combo.
up any resistance on the court? Can she, you have to body her up, or I mean, how does that work out? She's a tall girl.
None. She's a social worker, so she's she doesn't like the whole competition kind of thing. So good balance of our relationship a little bit.
I remember when Roy Williams took you guys through on a little ESPN tour. You guys are all looking at the equipment and hanging out, and then you guys went up to Springfield and lost. So, I mean, was that like a jinx or anything?
Basically, yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by there and here. Thanks, everyone. Let's go over the rules in the second round. Very similar to the first round. Everything's worth 1 point, but this time the contestant won't know where the questions are coming from other than this blue table, and they will be about sports. The winner in this game wins $15,000. At the end of the show, I'll ask a really complicated question called the question of great significance. I'll be very solemn and all that, and and it'll be dramatic, and it'll be great. Anyway, $30,000 at stake there because there's a chance to double the money. All right, Brian, you mentioned to me once before the demise of the modern athlete is something you're concerned about. I think the demise of the modern game show contestant is something you ought to consider yourself with right now. Concern yourself, I'd correct myself. And also, this is a quiz show, not a game show. But you're only down by 5.
Okay, I've been in bigger pickles before.
Absolutely. And you got a bunch of money in your pocket already.
Sure.
No pressure. This is gravy, like you guys said before the show.
Okay.
You set? Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Which franchise boasts the top 7 batters in all-time World Series games played?
New York Yankees.
Yep.
Which Duke guard suffered a broken foot in February of his team's 1992 NCAA championship run?
Bobby Hurley.
Right.
Which Colorado Avalanche center captained the world team in the 2001 National Hockey League All-Star Game?
Joe Sakic.
Peter Forsberg.
Which future U.S. Housing Secretary played for the AFL's Chargers before becoming a star quarterback for the Bills?
Jack Kemp.
Right.
Nicknamed Bo, what is the last name of the Magic forward from the University of Houston who knows basketball?
Kimball.
Outlaw.
Which Pacific Island native slipped the green jacket on Tiger Woods when Woods won the 2001 Masters?
Vijay Singh.
Right.
In the 2000 NFL campaign, which Kansas City Chiefs quarterback passed for over 4,000 yards?
Elvis Gerbach.
Right.
Which Philly hit 30 or more homers in a season 13 times?
Mike Schmidt.
Right.
In 1996, the Indianapolis 500 became the cornerstone event of what newly formed racing circuit?
IRL.
Right.
Traded from the Miami Heat, who led the Charlotte Hornets in scoring average in the 2000-2001 season?
Jamal Mashburn.
Right.
In 1938, which Detroit Tiger slugger hit 39 home field home runs, a major league record?
Hank Greenberg.
True.
Which longtime Raiders punter boomed a 93-yard punt while playing for Southern Mississippi in 1972?
Ray Guy.
Right.
What American League team traded Jeff Kent to the Giants in 1996?
Cleveland Indians.
True.
Which team selected Sean Ellis and John Abraham with consecutive first-round picks in the 2000 NFL Draft?
New York Jets.
Right.
How many horses won the Triple Crown in the 1950s and the 1960s?
0.
Correct.
In 1996, which A-10 school featured the backcourt duo of Carmelo Travieso and Edgar Padilla?
Temple.
UMass.
Which Mets hurler led the National League with a 2.43 ERA in 78?
Couldn't get it because the buzzer had
Tom
finished.
Seaver.
No, it was Craig Swan anyway.
Okay.
Nice round, though. You go from 11 points up to 24. You got the lead. See if it sticks. Great panel. You can hear all that. Very close. That UMass thing there. You had, where'd you go to Temple on that one?
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's okay. Swap places.
Okay.
Let's find out if Vinod moves on or if 24 from Brian sticks. Vinod has won 25 grand so far. His specialty, the 1997 Kansas City Chiefs, that Midwest feel. Of course, that's only if you prevail here. We will ask you a question about that.
Okay.
All right. Down by 8. Your 2-minute drill begins now.
Which A's reliever saved all 4 wins in the 1988 American League Championship Series?
Dennis Eckersley.
Right.
What is the last name of the NFL quarterback brothers Damon and Brock?
Heward.
Correct.
What NBA Eastern Conference team started playing its home games at the Air Canada Centre in 1999?
Toronto Raptors.
Correct.
Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes were a comedy slam dunk in what 1992 basketball movie?
White Men Can't Jump.
Yep.
What NFL team did Rich Kotite head coach immediately before coaching the New York Jets?
Philadelphia Eagles.
True.
In 2000, which Dodgers first baseman notched over 30 home runs and 100 RBIs for the 5th time in his career?
Eric Karros.
Right.
After winning Olympic gold in freestyle wrestling, American Kurt Angle began a career in what pro wrestling organization?
The WWF.
Correct.
Besides Ray Allen, which other Milwaukee Buck averaged over 20 points per game in the 1999-2000 season?
Glenn Robinson.
Right.
In 1997, which AL West team had 5 players with 100 or more runs scored?
California Angels.
Seattle.
Marcus Fizer opted for the NBA after his junior season at what Big 12 school?
Iowa State University.
Right.
From 1985 to 1989, Donald Iwike was a place kicker for what NFC team?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Correct.
Which ABC Wide World of Sports and Olympics broadcaster won the first Emmy given to a sports commentator?
Jim McKay.
True.
In the 1987-88 season, which shooting guard led the Lakers in scoring?
Byron Scott.
Right.
In 1996, which Dominican Blue Jays pitcher led the American League with a 2.93 ERA?
Juan Guzman.
Correct.
Chicago Fire star Rizta Stoichkov was a leading goal scorer in the 1994 World Cup playing for what Eastern European country?
Czechoslovakia.
Bulgaria.
Which Seahawks running back rushed for 877 yards in 1988?
I know that one. John L. Williams. You don't get an answer. Doesn't matter. 29, you've won, you've advanced, you're going to the semifinals. Great job, Vinod. Got to say goodbye to Brian Davenport right now, but it's going to be a long goodbye because you've won $20,000. You're doing that Sunday NFL Countdown experience. Beth, your wife, still loves you. You got great kids. Good luck on getting the Olympics in the D.C. area. Vinod, we're going to try to turn 15 into 30,000, asking you about the Chiefs when we come back for the question of great significance.
Time for the Lee Dungarees 2-minute drill trivia question. Here's the answer to tonight's Lee Dungarees 2-minute drill trivia question.
We're back on the 2-minute drill, quarterfinal action. Vinod Velikaturi from Missouri has moved on. He's into the semifinals. He's going to meet that attorney guy from Connecticut. It's a 2-3 matchup. Dave Grudberg, they'll face off in the semifinal. Still good quarterfinal stuff to come. #1 player in this tournament, Herm Sorcher, and of course last year's champion Will Gibson. They're both still alive. Who knows if they'll make it to the semifinals. Vinod, aren't you glad you moved here from India?
Very much so.
They don't have one of these over there, do they?
No. This is a great country.
All right, you got a great ESPN experience, but I'll tell you about that later. When we come back, the question of great significance.
Time for the original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. Here's the answer to tonight's original Coors 2-minute drill trivia question. ESPN's 2-minute drill is brought to you by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. And by Saturn. Now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series.
Back on the 2-minute drill, wanted to mention that Vinod has won another great ESPN experience. We'll be going to that Jimmy V Classic with Dick Vitale and Digger Phelps. Actually, they're the announcers, but he probably will meet them. They don't really know about it yet, but they're pretty good guys. All right, let's move the table away and ask a question of great significance. They're both good guys, Dick and Digger. You'll get along with them. In the great game of tackle football, you can score points in a variety of ways. You can score points in different increments, 6, 3, 1, and 2. That's right, 2. For 15,000 additional American dollars. Name the 4 Kansas City Chiefs in the 1997 team who scored 2 points, either via safety or 2 after the touchdown.
Tony Gonzalez.
Sure.
Tamarick Vanover.
All right.
Derek Thomas.
Slow down, we want drama.
Joe Phillips.
Okay, you won. You've won another 15 to go to 30. You're at $55,000. You're into the semifinals. I'm pretty good at that. Look out! Thank you guys. You're the best panel we've ever had. Quarterfinal action coming up. #1 player in the world, Will Gibson's still to play. Stay around for that. That's right. Vinod Velikaturi heads to the semifinals as the #3 seed. He'll take on the 2 seed, Dave Grudberg. But first, stick around for the quarters. Charlie Avalone against last year's champ, Will Gibson. Right after that, Donald Dole takes on the #1 seed in all the land. That's Herm Sorcher next on ESPN.
Drill has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.